disappear. And what I mean by disappear is you just lose contact. So if you're from the town, maybe you just live outside of town, and therefore you just don't have any contact with that person that lives in that particular small town. If you live, give me a sec. You just lose contact. So if you're from the town, maybe this thing is just playing the audio. But what I was saying is that if you live in the town, I mean, you wouldn't live in the town per se. You will be living outside of the town because, as far as you know, nobody has survived from the town. Many people might have said to you, or there may be a rumor here and there that somebody might have seen someone, but you're just not entirely sure. What else? So it could very well be that maybe if you are, we're going to go ahead and say that about a month has passed since these things are happening, and therefore you are finally ready to go look into it, whether it is because, not go look into it, but like find out what's going on, or maybe curious about what's going on, or whatever your reasons are, pretty much. Whether it is because you have family in there and you want to know where your family members are, or whether it is because you just want to know exactly what's going on. Or maybe because you just figure that, you just want something different. Just tired of the normal, and you just want to see what's up. Maybe you're just somebody that is into the occult, and maybe you feel that this will be your crack at it. This will be the chance to figure out. It may be something silly. Maybe there may be some sort of pest, some sort of virus. Could be anything. But maybe you're just more than willing to put your life on the line to find out if you have to or not. So your reasons pretty much will be your own, obviously. The whole point is that access to the town has been forbidden, pretty much. Nobody's really letting anybody willingly go into the town. Then again, nobody's really going to stop you from going to the town. It's just that nobody's really going to show up to help you. Mainly because nobody really knows what's going on. So, the police has declared an area of emergency, and that's that.
Hello?
Yep, I hear you. Who's what?
Who's allowing us in there?
Nobody.
So it's all kind of sneaking in together, deciding as a group?
I don't know if you're sneaking in together or not. You may have a plan or an idea to sneak in there. You just don't know each other yet. And, for all you know, like I said, maybe you have some family there. Maybe you have some friends. Maybe you're just curious. Whatever it is. Whatever that is just strong enough to make you decide that maybe that's worth going against the main idea that probably you should stay the fuck out.
So where would the nearest place be that we would be allowed in, that we wouldn't be stopped? Where does the state of the area of emergency end?
Well, you wouldn't really be stopped. It's more like a go at your own will type thing. Like they don't have guards outside of the city type thing. The army's not standing there to stop you.
Okay. And would we know? Is there people still in the city, or was it evacuated?
Nobody has seen anybody from the city, and the few people that were close by the city, they have left. There's some witnesses that you're more than welcome to find them and talk to them, by investigating. But right now, as far as you know, the rumors are that, and this is stuff that pretty much everybody will know, maybe hearing it on the radio or reading it on the newspaper, that most of everything seems to be empty.
Okay. Wow.
I have an idea as to why my character is there. Do you want me to tell you now? Do you want me to DM you? How does that one work?
I really don't need to know until you're ready to tell the group why you're there, or if you just want to keep it to yourself until the time is right and you need to use that for whatever reason. I'm not going to hold that against you if something happens. So, your reasons are your own. Maybe when you introduce your character, if you want to tell everybody why you're there, you can. If you don't want to tell everybody the truth as to why you're there, you don't have to.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah.
So, I suppose, given the information and my character's curiosity for occult stuff, would go to the town, and I guess in a car, just going into the town, just to see it after hearing whispers of it, I suppose. So let's start with that. Do I see anyone as I drive into town?
Okay, so you just decided to get your car and just drive there.
Yeah, I'm curious on stuff that's related to this and would be wanting to know more, I guess. Given the information that you've given us,
yeah,
I just would go see. I'm not gonna go straight for ground zero of it. Unless the whole place is. But
no, I completely understand. I completely understand.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm just trying to start somewhere.
Then let's start with you. That's fine. That's a perfect beginning. So you get in your car and you start driving. And maybe if any of the other investigators decided to also go there or not, maybe you notice that there's other cars in that direction. Maybe there's no cars. Maybe there's just people on a horse. Maybe there's just people walking there. However, you get to drive long enough to find out that you can see the town. You don't see it like a block away, but you see it like, let's say for example, about a mile and a half away. And right about a mile and a half away, that's when suddenly the area around the city just seems like the ground just broke. The main road, which is the highway that you will be taking to go into that town, the road just seems to be broken, like broken in chunks, pieces, to where it wouldn't be possible to drive there.
Would it convince you if I had a Ford Model TT truck?
Yeah, still not. Some of the pieces, some of the rocks are fairly big. Some others are small, and your truck just wouldn't last in there, for a whole mile and a half, and no.
Okay.
How
far away?
Around there, most likely like where the road would be. Red Wolf, your character would probably like see a car of like a decent enough model, but with no one in it. Like whoever was in there decided not to try to test their luck and just got out of the car to walk.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you go.
If that's okay to say.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Probably be what Abraham would do.
That's fine. So there you get to see someone else that might be standing there or just hanging out there. You know, that would be another.
Okay.
What about you, Lesser? Your character, Walter. So what Walter would do?
Walter probably drove up there and, like, Chaos's character has kind of gotten out and walked in there. He's just more intrigued by, like, what's keeping them out.
Thing and everyone beat me here.
You know.
Don't underestimate old people when it comes to putting the foot to the pedal.
Well, you know, maybe everybody just. It's not necessarily that they just beat you there. Maybe everybody's just arriving, or they arrive, you know, not too long after that. I mean, think about the fact that nobody will be still sitting there or standing there for an hour or more.
Yeah.
So somebody that just arrived will definitely take a couple of minutes maybe to figure it out if they feel like walking in there or just get their happy ass back.
How far is it, like, from the road breaking to, like, inside the town?
A little bit over a mile. Yeah. And unfortunately, the road is broken or damaged in a way. I mean, the whole area it is, but you notice it more on the road because that's the part where you will be driving, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Cool.
is destroyed to the point that you may see small flattened areas where you will be able to walk. However, those small flattened areas are not necessarily wide enough for you to be able to drive, and they're not straight either, to where you will have to like maybe jump from one area to the other. You know, small jump, nothing big. But then again, your car will not be able to do that. And definitely, if you want to try to drive over there, you're more than welcome to. All it will take, you know, just in all fairness. Let me pull your character sheet real quick. So all it would take, it will be just a drive, auto, and extreme.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'll wash. I'll whip up my BMX bike. No, I'm joking. No, yeah.
if you have
I'll get out and start walking, I suppose. Apparently, I'll just meet everyone.
All
Meet
right,
everyone up there. Yeah.
there you go. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get there,
I'm gonna lock
and
my
what about our dearest Frank Matella?
Yeah. And the burgers, I forgot to get them. Just one.
Okay. So
And I also forgot to get food. Yes, sorry about that. Yes, you guys, I think I would just go to like the edge and just kind of hope to get more people with me. I'm aware that I am more of a support than do this by myself, so I'm just waiting like at the entrance essentially until like a group gathers, hoping that a group gathers, right? Really.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So okay. So there's someone else there. So okay, there's 4 of you so far. That you know, maybe not everybody is just hanging out with each other. You know, there's obviously will be some distance. among
Yeah,
yourselves?
Abraham would probably just be looking like into the trunk of the vehicle, making sure he has everything that he needs to take with him, and is kind of just side eyeing the others, not really sure what to make of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
like, you know, I'm guessing it's either late when they all arrive or something like that. So,
Doesn't have to.
like late at night. I mean,
No, it doesn't have to. Maybe I want to say that it's actually early in the morning.
okay,
If you
early in the
guys
morning.
went ahead and you did it, probably you finally took courage to go do it. Probably you brewed through it the night before. You thought about it. You eventually made up your mind and you said, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna go for whatever your reasons are. Again, doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
But you finally
Abraham
got
would
enough
yeah.
courage to go. And
Abraham. Oh, sorry.
and ultimately, you are standing there. Well, all of you, regardless of what you're doing, you probably notice sooner or later that some of you are just nearby, maybe not necessarily super close, but nearby to each other. Maybe you guys sparked about between 1 to 3 or 4 car lengths from each other. So we're not talking about a quarter mile or anything like that. So therefore, you guys will be able to tell that you're there.
Okay.
So, Zach, what
Yeah.
does Clyde wants to do?
So let's just say we're all here now, right? We're at the entrance
Yeah,
of the
I
city.
think that's what's happening. Yeah.
You sure are. Well,
All
not
right,
at the
well,
entrance of the city, but at the at the area
Yeah.
where the road just breaks, unfortunately, to the point that it's impossible to continue driving, and therefore you have no other chance but to walk.
All right. Well, I'll look over at the others and be like, "You got it? You guys know what's going on?"
Abraham would kind of just look at You said your character's name is Clyde, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Abraham's this sort of like tall dude, like 60 years old. Well, tall for the time. He's like 5'10". And he's old and he's sickly looking, so he would kind of just look at Clyde, not really saying anything at first, and is more or less waiting to see how the other people who he has noticed now, how they react to the situation.
Okay.
Walter
So-
just kind of look over and be like, nope, don't know. I think we're all about to find out. Kind of whip out a handkerchief and put it over his mouth.
Fair enough.
What's that for?
They did say it might be toxic, so you never know what you're going to run into in here.
Oh, shit.
Nothing for me to worry about. And Abraham sort of just like cracks his collar, like he doesn't care that it might be toxic.
That's crazy.
Frank has a
Go ahead.
Primarily
Franklin
because
has-
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Frank brings out me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Frank brings out of his truck that he's driving. He brings out like a doctor's kit, and out of that he brings out a plague mask
Mm-hmm.
and puts it on.
Okay. All right. So maybe whichever of you wants to go first. You probably just stand over there for a moment. You can clearly see that you're all grabbing stuff from your vehicles or from whatever, making sure that you got whatever it is you need. And if you already grabbed your stuff, you probably think to yourself, well, if I'm gonna go, it seems like these people are gonna go, so might as well just wait a couple seconds, wait a couple minutes, and if they go, I'll go with them, and if not, the more hits, the better. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, all right. So you all finished grabbing your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I'm
bust out the
assuming.
mask with myself.
Okay. I'm assuming you guys start walking.
Yeah, Abraham
Yeah.
would begin walking.
Okay.
He have like a sort of like very cheap looking cane with him as he goes.
All right. So as you start walking over the broken road, you don't need to like go too crazy to be able to keep your balance, as there are parts of the road that are flat and just fine. So you can just walk over those parts. They're not too wide, so it's not, and it's not flat. I mean, it's broken. The road's definitely damaged, but it's like small enough to where, kind of like a
Halfway.
little trail type thing, and you're able to just follow it. And as you go, you notice when you look at the town. Actually, let's go ahead and do our first roll of the night. So go ahead and roll spot hidden. Spot hidden. Whoa.
This is gonna sound dumb. How do I do
Walter, my friend.
Oh, it's your turn, Travis.
Well, I rolled. It looks like I fumbled.
Yeah. Holy moly.
this?
Alright, so go ahead and Chaos and Fetty, go ahead and roll.
Yeah. How do I
You
roll?
you
Is it
open
just
your
a D20
character
or
sheet
do I?
and you find the skill that says spot hidden and you click it.
Okay. Okay. There we go. And then. Right.
Okay. And what about, we're missing someone. Hey Fetty,
Yeah.
roll spot hidden.
Yeah, I'm trying to set up. I just got my tablet out.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So in the meantime, I'm gonna tell you what you see, Clyde,
Dream success, like
and maybe if
percent.
the other character can see it, he'll see it. If not, maybe you can tell the rest if you want to, of course.
Yeah, maybe.
But you notice that as the sun moves, when you look at the town just seems to be getting darker and darker. Even though the day just keeps getting brighter and brighter. It's almost as if the brighter the day gets, the town has its own set of how bright it'll get. And it's almost as if it is some sort of smog or fog or a cloud or whatever that is. There's something in the air. There's something in the air of a purplish color that just floats. You can see it. It's like fog. You can't grab it. You can't do anything with it. But definitely that when you look at the distance and you look just right, you can spot how dark the town gets, right? And Walter, my friend, you start looking at the town, and you kind of get lost on what you're seeing. You're just like, oh my god, what am I seeing? You kind of like don't understand real quick for a minute, and unfortunately, you get distracted, and you trip. And when you trip and you fall, inevitably, you had some stuff on your hands, whatever it is that you had on your hands, so that prevented you from putting both hands on the ground. So go ahead and give me a luck roll.
You know what? This guy may actually do it, unlike Eric. Let's see.
All right. So go ahead and roll a 1d4 for me, please. Thank you. Two points of damage. You twist your wrist.
Oh,
That's the worst it gets. So go ahead and roll a 1d2 so we can determine what hand that is, if it's your right or your left hand. 1 for right, 2 for left. So your right hand, you twist your right hand. All right. You see him drop down, and he's like, oh. And now he's like, he's holding his hand, and it's quite painful. But, eventually the pain starts subsiding. Definitely it will hurt for you to move, like if you're holding some weight on your arm and you have to move it, that'll make it painful. Like, for example, let's say you're grabbing a gun and you have to move the gun with your wrist, that'll make it hurt. But otherwise, if you just leave it alone and you don't move the wrist, it's not too bad. So anything else you guys want to do before you get to the town?
So,
Okay,
would I be able
go
to tell
ahead.
what that fog was?
I'm sorry, one at a time.
Like, well, because I was gonna tell the other guys about the fog up ahead, purplish color. But like, is there any way that I could tell like what that is? Like, what have I heard of that or read that somewhere or something? Is there any way that I could like be able to tell what it would be or?
Cthulhu Mythos?
Roll 20.
Yeah, I mean, no point in rolling. I don't have any. So it's just completely unknown.
If you don't want to roll Cthulhu Mythos, then you.
I mean, I
can
could, but I can't roll a 0.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so if you can't, if you don't want to or you can't roll Cthulhu Mythos, regardless which one it is,
Oh Jesus!
then pretty much you get to use your intelligence, and you can assume that it may be some fog or some sort of smoke.
So it's fog and smoke.
I mean, there's really not much more than that.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys, there's some fog and it's purple, so I think the masks is probably a good thing. Maybe pour some water on it so that it helps filter it.
Abraham would hear that and basically just write it in his notebook, like purple, smoke, possibly toxic, and then he would just shrug and continue walking.
I'm gonna look at the other guy like, this guy's weird.
They want to grab their hand. I'm gonna approach you and say, hey, I'm a doctor. Do you mind if I give a quick look at that? See if I can help you out.
Oh, well, thank you kindly, Doctor. I would appreciate it.
All right. Is that gonna be a first aid or a medicine check?
First aid. And by the way, whatever you roll and you succeed, make sure you mark that little dot that is right next to your skill, and that way you can run. You know what you can improve at the end of the session. So
What I fail or succeed?
no, you succeed. What you succeed?
Oh, okay. I said it was what I
You check
failed.
mark. Right,
No,
you
succeed.
check mark
Roll.
whatever you succeed, and then once you're going to improve it, that's when you want to fail. You don't want to
Oh.
succeed. So yeah. So all right. So you guys continue walking, and you finally get, I want to say about a block away from the buildings, everything. You see buildings, you see abandoned cars. Funny thing that most cars, they seem to be fairly rusted out, almost as if they've been there for a while. The healing, he has to roll a 1d3. So you notice that the humidity in there is quite high. Pretty much just walking a couple feet gets you like sweating, and not necessarily because it's hot. It's just too humid. It's like
Oh, yeah, maybe.
it's a little bit worse than if you were in Florida, just to put it somehow.
Oh, wow.
Not necessarily just hot, just humid, and you notice that the buildings, everything just seems to be abandoned. Windows, they just seem cracked and broken. Pieces of rock. The roads pretty much destroyed. It's almost like nature just took over. There's overgrown plants. Who wants to roll intelligence?
Can I also roll intelligence?
Yep. Anybody that wants. Alright. So those of you that pass the intelligence roll, you know that only maybe a month went by. And in there, it just looks like vegetation just went wild. Things just went crazy. Although that vegetation doesn't seem to be green in color, they seem to be about the same color of that smoke, fog, whatever it is floating in the air.
Dark purple.
Yeah. It seems to be kind of like that color. So it could very well be also pollen, too.
Abraham would try to get close to one of the plants to make like a quick sketch of it in his notepad. And then he would write down like purple plants odd, and then he would just continue.
Okay. All right.
I will get a quick some gloves on, cut a little bit, and put in like a beaker, and then close the beaker.
Okay. No problem. So, who wants to roll spot hidden again?
I'm gonna redeem myself.
Redeem yourself. Listen to you.
Nope.
Could I use one of the many rolls I made where I succeeded in a row?
But you know what?
Also-
I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push it.
You're gonna push it. Oh no!
Wow.
Well, that's what.
Wow. All right. So you are looking, and you just started looking, and you just started scratching your eye, and you looked a little bit more, and somehow your eye just started itching. So you just started scratching it more and more, and eventually your eye now is just like itching, but it itches because it hurts. And the more you scratch it, the more it hurts, and the more it makes it itch, so the more you go back and you try to scratch it. So go ahead and roll a 1d3 for me, please.
Yep.
Alright, so some of you that have, let's see, one person. So Clyde, your character actually sees some movement in the distance.
How far away?
Probably a block away. Block and a
Okay.
half away.
Was it humanoid or was
It,
it just?
it seemed like it could have been some sort of animal.
There's something up there.
Oh, what is it?
If I knew Walter, I would tell you. Do we want to go check that out, or do we want to continue looking around?
Abraham would kind of look towards Clyde and basically go like, well, was it human? What was it? If it's a person, we should probably go and see if they're okay.
I don't know if it was a person. I don't think so. But like, that would be weird for a person to be out here walking around, right?
I mean, we're walking around, aren't we?
Yeah. It's true. Alright, good point.
Yep.
Well, if it's not a person, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Well, we should definitely keep an eye out, because if it's not a person, it's an animal, and there's a good chance that it's not one to eat these plants. We might look like a meal to it.
I mean, might be something else, not just animals out here.
If it's not a person and not an animal, then what else could it be? A ghost? And he sort of like chuckles under his breath, which kind of rises up to like a cough, and he takes out a handkerchief from his coat pocket and kind of covers his mouth. And like maybe some of you may spot like a couple trickles of like red from like coughing up a little bit of blood, and he kind of just tucks it back into his coat.
Are you okay, dude?
These are red.
As long as it's not a snake man, I'm good.
Alright. So, as you guys continue walking a little bit more, you finally see that there's this animal that seems to just run the way that it sees you. It kind of runs behind the ruins of this building.
Towards us and past us?
No, away from you.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like you're walking straight and you see the animal in the distance, maybe like, I don't know, I
Are
want
we
to
able to
say
tell what
between
kind of animal
50
it
to
is?
100 feet away, and then it just moves towards behind the wall that will stop your view from it, and it just seems to disappear behind that wall. So therefore, you just cannot see it anymore unless you decide to get to where it is.
Was it like a deer, or like what kind of animal are we talking?
It could have been a deer. It could have been a dog. It could have been, I don't know, something around that. It could have been a small deer. It could have been a dog. It could have been, I don't know, a very large. I mean, not a small, a very small, tiny horse. It could have been, I don't know, something definitely that looked around that size. Yeah, something that could have looked about that size, but since it was kind of far and you didn't see the whole thing, you just saw like the very last part of it. So, it's not like he was just standing over there in front of you, looking at you, and then just walked. No, you probably saw like maybe a quarter of its body.
I mean, are we checking that out, guys? Like, I want to go.
It may not be safe to follow it, but if it is an animal, that means that there are at least some signs of life here aside from just these odd plants. So it may be good to follow it, but cautiously at the very least.
You think? Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, then I mean, yeah, sure. Let's follow it cautiously.
And Abraham would kind of look towards the others to see if they agree with that mindset, of, like following it, but like to be cautious and ready to book it if needed.
And then
The
suddenly,
only thing that worries me is there's, depending on what kind of animal it is, we might not be able to outrun it. So if it's like a mountain cat, that could be quite dangerous.
Yeah. Yes, that is true.
all right, who wants to roll listen?
Let's see.
Why not? What's the worst that can happen?
Listen,
A fumble.
Find it real quick.
Ask
Your ears go out.
Yeah,
Ask Travis.
actually, yeah.
Ask Travis what's the worst that can happen.
Oh boy.
Fucking broke my back in the last campaign.
And then Edward made fun of you.
At least someone should see it.
All right, so there we go. So Frank actually turns around, and when you turn around, Frank, you see this gentleman that just seems to be coming out of the side of one of the houses from behind you, or houses, or whatever those ruins are. It could be a building. And he says, I mean, he's going to be not a very good looking kind of guy. Not that old. He's definitely his 30s. He seems to be a little scrawny, short. His clothes are definitely not anything to brag about. And he looks at you and he says, "Are you guys hunting?"
Abraham would be startled and just turn if he hears it. If not, then
I don't think we are here for hunting. At least I'm not.
Oh,
Hunting for information.
oh well, it seems like, I was wondering, you guys seem like very interested in that creature, so I figured maybe you guys were hunters. This area has definitely become an area full of wildlife nowadays.
Well,
What's going
we were
on?
actually
So,
following it. Yeah.
So what?
Doctor said.
did not mean to interrupt you. You know, like you're talking.
No, Frank, get out there. Frank, come on.
All right. What's going on in this area? It's very different than what it's supposed to be.
I don't know. I mean, I arrived a little bit ago, and I just started looking around, and I started venturing into the area. I figured I'd check a little bit of the broken places, the broken houses, and I just haven't found much of anything. I'm wondering where everybody went.
So you're not a local?
No, I'm not.
Then you haven't seen anyone else?
Nope. I have not seen anybody else besides the animals here and there, so that's what I thought. You were hunters. My name is Professor George Litwick. I am a professor of forensics.
Forensic?
Forensics.
Well,
Hello, Professor.
what brings you here?
Well, I could ask the same question. What does a group like yourselves brings you here? I mean, in my case, I just, I studied forensics, so I'm really interested in finding out where did everybody go.
I'm here for the only reason that truly matters. finding life in these days of death. And he sort of chuckles and writes that down, emphasizing to definitely put that in the book he's writing.
Blankly staring at him.
He says, "I'm afraid this is the last place you're gonna find life." I mean, there's a town a couple miles down the road that maybe has a lot more life than this one.
I'm not talking about the life of other people, but thank you for the recommendation.
Okay, no problem. Sure. To each their own. All right.
I'm just here for a minute.
So you guys are not hunters. Then what are you doing here?
I believe each of us have our own reason. I, for one, am just here to write some information for my biography.
I see. So well, that's perfectly good. I mean, I think everybody should be able to leave their mark in this planet of ours.
Very true, very true. I'm just here for family stuff.
Oh, did you lost somebody? I'm very sorry.
I'm trying to make sure I don't lose someone. But let's do it on that.
Well, some said that if you look hard enough, sometimes you're able to find what you're looking for. Let's just hope that's the case over here.
I'm just here because it sounded interesting and I want more.
Oh. I mean, this is definitely an interesting place. That's why I came. I mean, and what about you, fella over there that's holding your arm? What?
I just came here just to see what was going on.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just doing my own thing. So would you guys mind if I join your posse and we can try to figure this puzzle together?
The more the merrier.
Abraham kind of nods his head, and he doesn't verbally agree, but he doesn't verbally disagree either.
Perfect. You guys do strike me like some outstanding citizens. So we should be able to get to the bottom of this. I mean, ultimately, I came here to try to find out exactly what happened, mainly after hearing of disappearances. I always found that if something dies, it should leave something behind.
They're saying they're not dead.
I do not know.
But that's what you're hearing.
Well,
If we go under the assumption that they aren't dead, where would they be? I mean, everyone's vanished, so even if they are dead, their bodies should be somewhere, but I'm not smelling any rot or things like that, and I doubt animals, especially up here in this part of the world, of this part of the mighty United States of America, I might add, would be capable of eating that many people that quickly, especially without leaving trails of bones, blood, and other gore.
Look, buddy, I am sorry to thoroughly disappoint you. If you're looking at me to try to get those answers, I don't have them. He says, I'm here just to figure out what's going on, and it seems like you guys are here doing the same thing. I come from a town that is about, I want to say about 100 miles away, down south, Fort Dirksen, and actually we did have somebody that was a family member of one of my friends that he used to live in this town. and all his family just disappeared. But magically, he actually made it back to town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So there's a survivor.
So I'm just trying to see if I find, more people, more.
Did you find anything in that house?
No, most of everything seems to be in ruins. I haven't really made it deeply into the center of the city or the town. I mean, if you look out there, and he points out, I mean, there seems to be like some sort of, I don't know if that's a building or if that's I mean, it could be a bunch of buildings that just got destroyed and it created that sort of gigantic cliff there, or maybe it's just that area of the town that is like that. I mean, when you guys look at it, you see that there's quite a bit of an elevation towards the north of the town, and it seems to be like it could be a mix of many things. It could be a bunch of debris, and it's almost like something got the ground to pull up.
Are there like any fires or like signs of life or anything like that we would be able to see? Like,
No fires.
How long have the disappearance? How long has this town? When was like the first disappearance? When was like
About a month ago.
about a month ago? So it is very strange. Okay, it's not like it's been
It
years.
is.
Gotcha.
It is.
Just double checking.
How long until his the family friend returned? Like, how long is that?
Actually, he made it back about a week ago.
Did he say anything?
I'm sorry, what?
Did he say anything?
Oh, well, I mean, he said many things. I mean, I wasn't physically there because he came back. I mean, I wasn't there to interview him, but his family was there, and everybody kept. I mean, my friends kept telling me how happy they were that he was back. I mean, if you have
I'm
a
sure.
family member that disappears, wouldn't you be happy to have it back?
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, within the reason, I can imagine if you have a spouse, maybe you're in a bad marriage, and your spouse just disappears, that may be a cause for celebration. But, in the same case, I could argue that if you are happily married, and your spouse just disappears, you will be sad. So, obviously, it depends on the person. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure that somebody that has a family member that they like, they will be happy to have it back.
Yes,
Right.
that's very true.
Very well then. So that seemed to be
But
what
you would also
happened.
want to know what happened to him.
I really have no explanation. Based on what people said, I managed to talk to some people that they decided to leave before this whole thing got really, really bad. And it seemed like something just fell down from the sky, which it could be a meteorite, I guess. I don't know. I didn't
So you
see
guys never
it.
go check it out?
I didn't see it. I don't know if where it would be if it is here. But that's a consensus, pretty much what the people were saying, that something fell down, and then they were blaming that into the fact that since that point on, everything just started getting worse. Like the air got a little thicker. Things just started getting darker and darker, much like the color of things. You know, I'm pretty sure you noticed that when you're walking to the town looks a little darker, and you can clearly see the color of the planes. These planes are kind of weird. They're not green.
Yeah, there's definitely no thing.
I was told
Maybe
there's
we should
animals
go-
here too.
Oh, where the thing of the sky was.
Say that again.
I was just saying, like, maybe we should go see where the thing that came from the sky landed.
Well, we
Yeah,
will need to
that's
find it
good.
first. I mean, I'll be happy to join your posse to try to locate it. I'm very interested in finding out what it is.
That may be a good idea. Shrink the numbers.
Yeah.
If the others are fine with it, I'm fine with it as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we will locate it. Yeah.
Well, is there any high ground where we can see over anything, or is it all just pretty flat?
Go ahead and roll spot hidden. Huh. Holy moly.
Push it. I don't wanna fumble it. I'm gonna push it. There we go.
Actually,
I
yeah.
also,
Yeah. I'm gonna do that too. I'll take it.
Damn.
Wow. Fuck. Okay.
I'm not pushing it.
Alright, so, you start looking around. Well, Frank wouldn't have fumbled it because that's just a 94, but Clyde definitely fumbled it. So let's start with
Oh, you're right, it's 95.
let's start with Frank. Frank, you kind of see it, the tallest building there, which is not a whole building. It just seems to be a building that is, with the best of luck, cracked in half. It's definitely missing a good chunk of it, and it's just broken in an angle. So you know, it's not like it's flat. It's like angled, and God only knows how you're gonna make it up there if you try to climb. You know, then again, you will have to see inside to see if there's a way for you to be able to go up, see if there's stairs or not, or maybe you want to try your hand at climbing. Maybe you brought some rope with yourself and whatever. And that's what you want to do. Otherwise, the other way to look up will be to climb that elevation, that short, small hill, mountain, whatever, and to look from the middle. Obviously, the further you go up, the more you're gonna see towards the outside of the city. When it comes to that, Clyde, go ahead and roll. What's the name of this? Roll dexterity. No, dexterity. Constitution. Thank you very much.
That reminds me. I would like to basically get some water and just wash my eyes out as first aid if I can.
Okay, where are you gonna get water from?
From my supplies.
Okay, perfect. All right, you do that. Clyde, you go ahead and you get a slight headache. So go ahead and roll 1d3. All right. So, all right. As we were going. So, what do you guys want to do?
We'll look for the thing that fell from the sky.
Yeah, probably the best bet, to be honest.
Very well. So the professor, Frank, I think his name is Frank. George. So George says, Professor George says, actually, you know what? You guys seem to be a very outstanding group. I think, we'll be able to solve this puzzle in no time. There's nothing I would like the most than just to bring this town back into normality, find out what's going on, and maybe we can be heroes.
We can be heroes.
Maybe. So, all right. So let's get walking.
Yep.
As you start walking, you notice movement again. So go ahead and roll spy hidden one more time.
Alright.
All right. So you notice that there seems to be a person that is just kneeling down, picking a flower, or at least it looks like a person that is kneeling down, picking a flower. From where you see it, it's like under a shade. It seems that the shade is being provided by a piece of ceiling that is left over from a building, and the person just seems to be grabbing the flower and attempting to smell it. And all it does is it just grabs the flower, smells it, and puts it back down, and just looks at it and goes ahead and smells it again. What do you guys want to do?
How far away is she?
That person is about 50 feet.
Does she notice us, or is she kind of like entranced with that flower?
You can't really make up that is a woman or a guy.
Well, whatever it is, would they have they looked over at us at all, or are they
Nope.
just focused on that flower?
They're just focused on the flower.
I'm gonna yell, I won't touch that. How are you?
I'm sorry, you're gonna yell what?
I'm gonna yell, I will not touch that if I were you.
And the person just keeps holding the flower and smelling it. And it's not even a flower per se. I mean, it just looks like a chunk of a plant. It's the same color of everything else, just purplish plant, and that's it.
So they don't react to me yelling, don't touch that,
No.
or I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
No reaction, no.
I'd move up to like a 25-foot distance just to get a better look.
Okay. You see this shadow figure just holding the flower a little bit more. It seems to have some pants on, a shirt. Go ahead and roll spy hidden. You seem to realize that, in a way, the clothes kind of shine.
Well, that's strange.
Are they like still like not paying attention to us?
Yep.
I'm
Is
gonna
there a
walk
way
behind them.
like to wrap like that? Oh, you're gonna walk up behind him. I was gonna walk around. Let's see what it is.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I'm walking up behind him. I'm walking behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abraham
Like
would
how close
kind of
behind
stay around where he is.
I would be like 5 feet, maybe.
Okay.
And I have my handkerchief tied over my mouth. Like, what you entranced by there?
And the person stands up and turns around. And when he turns around, you notice that this person is almost transparent. Even the clothes are almost transparent. It seems to be not invisible, obviously, and not like water, but it seems to be not too transparent either. Just transparent to where you can actually see through it, but not necessarily a lot. More so to the point that it's becoming, or it's closer to not to be transparent than to be transparent, pretty much, to put it that way. And it just looks at you and stands up over there.
Go ahead.
I just look up at it and be like, are you okay?
And he just tilts its head to one side and just looks at you. You know, in the same way that maybe a dog will look at you, sort of confused.
Like Abraham, would Abraham be able to like see any of like the fact that the clothes are shimmering, or is the guy like transparent? Because his spot hidden check failed, but the other people are obviously reacting. So when the guy actually when the thing, whatever that is, when it stands up and turns around, then yeah, at that point you guys can figure it out that it's sort of invisible. I mean, it will take a lot to not realize that you can see through the guy. I mean, for you to have an idea, if you remember the Back to the Future movie where Marty McFly looks at the picture where everybody starts vanishing on the picture.
Yeah.
That the brother starts getting like, I don't want to say thinner, but I want to say like clearer and clearer to the point that you could see through it. You can still see the vegetation behind him, but he's just starting to vanish. So it's sort of like that.
Like
Can I do like I don't know, like a, I don't know if I can make like a medicine check?
Would a cold be something to roll for that?
You can roll cold if you want. You can roll. No, medicine won't get you anything at this point.
Can I roll history to see if there's like been any like events to like remember if there's been any events in the past that have had similar things or like mention of it?
I don't think you've ever seen an invisible guy before. Or
Oh,
heard
is
of
that
an
what
invisible
history
guy.
is? Okay, never mind. I thought history meant okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
16 hard success for a cold.
Holy
Nice.
moly! Look at you. Okay, well, at the very least.
I also got a hard success for alcohol as well.
Okay, so at the very least, you guys get the idea that is definitely not normal. It's definitely something that probably shouldn't be. Whether it is a person that is under the effects of something, or is something else altogether. Obviously you're not gonna know what it is right off the bat. But the professor says, "Well, I wonder what's happened to that poor guy. Maybe one of us should stay over here and try to care for it. That may get better."
Can I roll an intelligence check on that? Like, does that make sense? I don't think so.
Go ahead and roll intelligence if you want. You get to see things from both ways. For one, if you find someone sick, it will make sense that you can stay with that person to see that person becoming a little better. For two, maybe you don't have to stay there. Maybe now that you found a person, or what seems to be a person. Maybe you just wanna take off and bring that person with you, so you can get better somewhere else that may or may not be safer than the area where you're at. Or B, you can be like I am in real life and say, well, you know what? Tough luck, buddy. And, to each their own. And just continue walking. It really, it really depends on your guy.
How far from like where we parked our vehicles would this person be? Like how long of a trek would it be to bring that person like there or something?
Well, I want to say that your vehicles now will be parked about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away.
Okay.
It's quite the walk.
Yeah.
Thing is, like,
Can he understand us? Like, does he have any?
yeah, like, is he gonna follow us? How are we gonna move it there if he doesn't want to follow us too?
That's a great question.
I'm gonna step a little bit back and kind of like wave my hand to it, like follow me.
All right. Go ahead and roll your luck. All right. So the moment you do that, it steps a little bit back and waves its hand at you.
Like it waves, like so it's not copying my movement, it's kind of waving.
No, it's copying your movement.
Oh, that's creepy.
100% copying your movement. Yes.
Right, so I stepped back and it stepped back, and then it did the same thing.
Yep.
Then I would step back up to it.
And takes a step forward.
Put my hand up.
It puts its hand up.
Try stepping in the light.
I will do as he says and try to step into the light.
All right, and it moves to the light. It's just standing there.
So it's not stuck in place. It can move.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's copying Walter now.
It can definitely move. 150%.
Oh, well.
Can you understand me?
It doesn't talk. It just moves its hand to the side like a confused animal and just looks at you.
So like shrugs its shoulders.
Nope. It does whatever whatever Walter is doing, that's what it does.
Abraham would approach it now that he's seen that it's not attacking the others, so he would approach it and like he has a bit of an idea, so essentially he tries to hand it his notepad and pen to see if the creature or the person, if it is a person, would write anything, or at least to see the reaction to trying to be handed stuff.
Interesting. Good choice. Good choice. I like that.
Go ahead and roll. Roll your luck.
Luck? Okay. If I can find it, 1 moment. Ah, here it is.
Yeah, no, it doesn't grab anything.
Okay. Abraham kind of just stares for like a couple more seconds before putting the notepad back into his jacket.
Okay, that's fine.
I thought it was a good idea.
It was a
Can I
good
see your
idea.
pen
He
here
just
for a
said
moment?
shit luck.
All right, so
I want to pick up the flower it was looking at and see if I can get it to hold. I want to see if it was just him or if it was.
yeah, when you
It's been
approach,
it's been copying my movements.
when you approach to get the flower, that that person or thing, whatever, it just stands sort of in the same position you are. So as you walk to grab the flower, that thing also walks It imitates your movement as grabbing the flower. Only that it already has a flower in its hand, so it just uses that flower.
Oh.
Someone take the flower from it. I'm sure that's an amazing idea that won't be bad.
Do it.
Yeah, someone do it. I'm not gonna do it, because...
I'm not doing it. Nuts?
No, good idea.
Hey, Professor.
No way. No way. No way.
Can we like do a group roll to try to peer pressure the professor into taking the plan away?
Say that again?
I'm asking if we can like make a roll like together as a group to try to peer pressure Professor Litwick into taking the plan away from.
Oh, you don't have to do
transparent
that.
individual.
You can simply use psychology if you want to talk to the professor, whatever, or you can use intimidate if you want to intimidate the professor.
Someone got a success though.
Yeah, psychology.
Yeah.
4855.
And the professor says, well, why do we need the flower when your body over there just grabbed the that flower?
Just trying to see, because like he's not, he might not follow. Like he's just copying his movements. I'm trying to see if maybe
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go.
Plus the flower, the plant may be dangerous for it. It may be a responsible decision in order to take away the flower from the currently docile entity.
You know, you seem very, very concerned about it, and I urge you that, you know, if you are so concerned and you like to follow the courage of your convictions, then definitely you should do it. I mean, it seems like it's really bothering you, and you know what? In the same way that we all got here trying to follow through with whatever we needed to fulfill our lives, because definitely somebody needs to be feeling that they need to fulfill something in order to be here in this place. I will urge you that if you want, you just go do what you gotta do. I mean, just
The
be
chaos
careful.
gremlin in me really wants to do it.
I
It's not something Abraham would actually do.
Truthfully,
So,
I
like,
wouldn't mind to grab a flower, but I'm not gonna go grab the flower from that thing that I don't know what it is. And for two, he doesn't seem to be doing anything bad. I mean, if anything, he's just copycatting your friends. I mean, he is your friend, right? So your friend's movement.
I suppose so.
Acquaintance.
I'm gonna get close
Alright,
to the
on.
spirit.
Yep.
I wanna analyze his body language, especially as I get closer, and I want to like reach my hand out to him.
To who?
I wanna see how he reacts as I get closer, and as I reach out my hand to him.
The invisible person? The transparent person?
Yes.
Okay. So you get closer, but it doesn't necessarily pay much attention to you. Whenever, if you do get close to the point that Walter turns around and looks at you, that's the only time that he will turn around and look at you. It seems to react in the same way.
I wanted to see it. I want to be basically like right next to it.
Yeah, you can. You can do it.
So, hold on.
Go ahead and everybody
this
roll.
Flower,
Everybody
the flower
go
that it's
ahead.
holding? Go ahead.
Everybody go ahead and roll intelligence.
Alright. Nice, extreme success.
Alright, so by now, those of you that passed the roll, you have clearly noticed that is just permanently mocking the actions or doing exactly the same thing that Walter does. So what Walter does, it does.
So I have a quick question. The flower that it's holding, is it solid?
Yeah.
So it can hold solid objects.
Or it can hold absolutely.
Either or.
So then I'm going to hold like the flower in one hand and kind of bring my hands together as in like I'm letting the flower rest in the palm of my hands. Both of them.
Okay. So you left the flower. You hold the flower on your hand. Let's see.
With both of them, yeah.
With both hands.
Yeah. Kind of cupping.
And when you do that, it does the same thing, and the flower just seems to be able to hold up.
And then I'm going to have my hands open and drop the flower.
And it opens the hand, and the flower just drops.
Okay. There you go, guys. It does not care about the flower.
Damn, that would have been funny though. I mean, we'd all be dead, but it still would have been funny.
I would pick up the flower and kind of again start walking back towards the group with see if it follows.
Okay. So you walk back towards the group, and it walks back probably a couple feet away from you, but still mimicking your actions.
I think I got a new friend, guys. I got a shadow.
Abraham would kind of just like stare between Walter and Walter's quote unquote shadow and kind of like take a step back because he's not fully trusting this.
Okay. So the professor says, well, this is quite a discovery we have made. I wonder what has made you, and he's talking about you, Walter, what has made you so attractive to it that it has decided to just follow you around and be you?
I don't know.
Walter just has peak male form. I'm sure that's the only reason why.
I mean, at this point, anything would do.
So okay, so I would like to get like I'm trying to remember what they're called. The things that doctors use to like sense your heartbeat.
This is my heartbeat.
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope, yeah.
And make sure I'm not touching it, and just try to like put it against this invisible creature, and see if I get a heartbeat, or if it goes through. But I do approach it very slowly, and I make sure not to agitate it. If it looks like it's uncomfortable, I'm taking a step back and not doing it.
So it just stands still. You don't hear anything from inside.
I do manage to the metal stenographer, the metal thing,
Yep.
stethoscope. Thank you. Touches it, right? It doesn't go through it.
It touches it.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Somebody want to touch it? I really want to know what happens if someone touches.
Abraham would kind of like look at Frank. Your character is Frank, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Abraham would look at Frank and he would kind of like go next to Frank and basically just like put his arm onto Frank and he would basically lift his cane. So basically he wants to make sure Frank doesn't let him fall. And as he does that, he goes to poke the thing with his cane. Not hard, just like a push with it.
And when you try to poke it, it just moves out of the way a little bit. Always trying to mimic as close as possible the movements of Walter. Although when he moves to the side, it seems to get sort of upset. Like not liking that too much.
Yeah, alright. Good to know. Good to know.
Abraham would kind of like mutter an apology under his breath, and then he'd take the cane back in and go back like a good 10 feet away from it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't want to like push it. I just wanted somebody to like touch it with like, you know, a flesh body. Can I see if there's anything alive, like an insect or something near me? And then I want to put that in like its shoulder essentially. See what happens if something biological touches it.
Well, he was holding a plant.
Something that's not one of these curses plants that lives in this place. Something that's like more, you know, real world, if that makes sense.
Well, go ahead and roll spot hidden, I guess.
Okay.
All right. So no, you see,
Well,
you know, a couple birds here and there, a couple things, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, you notice that there's a reindeer not too far from you, but that's about as much.
I think it may have been mimicking an animal, and that's why I was smelling the flowers. That is one of the few things I can think of.
That does make sense, yes.
All right.
Do we want to
So
follow?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Do we want it to follow us? I'm asking the group.
Oh.
I don't really think we have much of a choice because wherever Walter goes, I think it's going to mimic him. So unless Walter separates from us, which I don't think that is the best idea, safety in numbers, I think we'll just have to deal with Walter's little shadow following us for now, unless it grows bored or leaves or something.
That seems like reasonable statement.
Yeah. Alright. Works for me.
All right. So. All right. So do you guys continue walking? What do you guys want to do now?
Probably, I don't think the goals changed to, find where the meteorite crashed.
Okay. Alright, so you keep on trucking forward, and the professor says, you know what? I think that's actually the best idea, just to keep walking. We should probably ignore this. I mean, you know, ultimately, he's not bothering anybody, so might as well. And, you know, he may provide us some answers down the line to be able to tell what it really is, or what is it doing, or whatever, right?
That's the
So-
idea, yeah.
As you continue walking, you see that there's a creek. Go ahead and roll spot hidden.
Okay.
Alright. You notice that the water, it's of a pinkish purplish tint. And there's fish going, you know, swimming. The fish seem to not only have this purplish tint, however, they shine. And when they shine, they seem to reflect the light, and they have this really bright shine to them.
Is it possible to like sketch one of the fish into the notepad, or are they moving down the river too
If
quickly?
that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Is it like an unnatural glow?
I missed like the last 2 minutes. Anything important happened while we next to a river?
Pink river full of weird fish. We're continuing to look for the meteorite. I think that was a good detail.
Yeah, there was a creek. The water was just falling down from
Creek,
the hill.
my bad.
So,
Do we want to head to the building I found? That one to start try to find the meteorite?
Thought we were going to the hill. Or up the hill.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, we're headed towards the meteorite. The hill.
yep, you are. As far as I was told. All right. So you notice. Go ahead and roll spot hidden one more time.
All right. Island someone's.
And Clyde, since you're the only one that succeeded, roll your luck. You
Well,
can't. You
I'm
can't.
gonna fucking push that. I'm gonna push that.
You
I'm gonna push that.
You can't push luck. So,
I didn't push it. Federico did.
but
I put spot hidden. I push spot hidden.
sure.
I got 41 on 25, but I'm not
Okay.
I can I was.
So you notice that there's this gigantic creature that is on the ground. You hear a noise, somewhat like ah.
How far away is it?
25, 30 feet.
And when you say big creature, like elephant big or like titan big?
Like bear big.
Okay. Fair big. All right.
Okay, perfect. So Frank, you will see the same thing.
What the fuck is that?
Great question.
It's just.
Abraham would look towards it and stumble, and almost fall in the river, but he uses his cane to like catch himself and, not river but creek, and uses the cane to like make sure he doesn't, and because like it was just really shocking to see something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide.
I don't think we should be going that way.
Yeah, is there anywhere to hide? Like, does it see us, or is it just?
No, he doesn't see you. It's just by the creek. Could be fishing. Could be drinking water.
Does it look aggressive, or does it just look big?
Do bears always look aggressive?
Okay.
No,
That's your
no.
answer.
Sometimes bears look naturally
Exactly.
nature
So that's about as
majestic.
that is your the way it looks. Now the bear also seems to look somewhat transparent too. Like, but this bear actually looks a little bit less transparent than your following creature.
Is
Yeah,
it
shadow?
possible to roll something to see if like what type of species of bear it is, or is it
You can roll
just,
biology.
like more or less roughly bear shape?
You can roll biology
Okay.
if you have any.
Looking for it. I don't think I have it. I have
Then-
natural.
Then you're gonna have
but
to
not
settle with the
biology.
fact that it's a bear.
Okay.
We cannot use natural word for that.
No.
So it's also transparent, but just not as much.
Yeah.
Is
like-
it repeat? Is it repeating its like movements? Is it just doing this? Is it doing the same thing that this guy was doing?
No, this guy, the bear, just seems to be by the water.
So
Seems
I
to
can
be
do it
fishing.
in there.
Seems to be fishing.
But does it have its paw out above the water, ready to go, or is it just like all paws on the ground staring into the water?
3 paws on the ground and another one like over the water.
Like that. That's just.
I will watch it for a little bit. I want to see if it actually goes for a fish.
Abraham would do the same, but would
Eventually
definitely-
goes for a fish,
Yeah.
and he catches it, and he grabs it and starts eating it. And when he eats it, you see that the fish just goes through its body. Although you don't get to see a
Is it
lot because
following
it's
like
not.
the digestion system?
Although you don't get to see a lot because he's not that transparent. He's somewhat transparent, so it's. I want to say that he's maybe 10% transparent. He's more regular than transparent. Your guy that you have walking around you right now might be about 75% transparent.
Quick question. When it eats the fish, like, does it eat it like whole, or does it like rip into it to like where we could see the blood of the fish?
He just sits down and starts eating it. The fish
does
doesn't
the
bleed somehow.
Bears do.
You
Does
become
the
more transparent.
You can't really tell right now because it's a very short time. However, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll your spying. Only you, since you had that idea, Travis. You don't notice.
You know what? I'll spend 2 luck.
Okay. You do notice that your shadow seems to be becoming less transparent.
When? When does it become less transparent?
As time has gone by.
So it's like 80% transparent.
I want to say,
80%.
about 80%. I mean, it went probably from a 25 to a 20% transparency. You start also noticing that it's starting to have a face and everything.
Is it possible to like see what type of features the face has, or is it still too early to tell?
You can roll. Let's see. You can roll. I guess you can roll spot hidden on hard.
Okay, on hard.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Can I do that too?
Sure. Yeah.
We can all do it.
Sure. Go ahead. Why not?
What would happen if I push this?
You would still be
No,
pushing on
finally
hard.
someone.
You will still be pushing on hard. Clyde, you notice that you get the hint that this thing is becoming more and more like Travis.
Oh.
It's almost a
Oh
reflection.
boy.
Yeah.
It's almost a reflection of Travis.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
So the bear
Is there a
grabs-
way for me to?
The bear grabs the fish, puts it in its mouth, looks at you, and kind of growls, but then starts walking away, and a small area where there's bushes and whatnot, and you kind of lose track of the bear in there.
I'm gonna back away from those bushes, or like wide. I would say wide berth around wherever. Like, do we need to go forward past where we saw the bear? Is that what's happening, or?
You can always go around it. You can go to the
Oh,
side.
I would like to go around it, but I want to. Can I pull Walter across, like aside, or is that thing gonna keep following us? Is it like just on his heel, or?
It's not on its heel. I mean, I want to say that thing is probably about 5 feet away from Walter.
And if I were to walk Walter 20 feet away,
It will follow you.
and so it's constantly 5 feet away.
Yep. It just seems to mimic
Okay.
whatever Walter's doing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna write down on a piece of paper that it's starting to look like you, and I'm just gonna fold it up and hand it to Walter.
Okay, and Walter stretches its hand to grab it, and the thing stretches its hand too, and acts as if it's grabbing whatever. Now, the professor all of a sudden says, "Oh, look! There seems to be another survivor."
What?
Yeah, right there. And he looks and he points to a tree. And right by a tree, there seems to be a figure. It seems to also be transparent. This time around, this one seems to be holding a piece of a fish. And it just seems to be sitting down there with the fish on its hand.
Does it look like it was eaten, or is it just a whole fish?
I'm sorry? Say that again? You kind of broke up.
Does it look like it was like had a bites taken out of it, or is it just a whole fish that the guy's holding?
No, it's not the whole fish. It's like, I don't know, maybe less than half of the fish.
Does it look like that the that quote unquote survivor ate the fish? Or like not enough information?
Not enough information.
Okay.
I mean, it could
Does
have.
Walter read my note?
I don't know. Ask Walter.
Asking me?
I was asking if you read the note.
Well, of course, if you hand me off a note, I'm going to read the note.
Yeah. Okay. So just as long as. Okay. Because I don't. Starting to get weary of this guy.
You saying it looks more like me?
Yeah.
That's what your note says?
It's starting to look like you. Yeah.
And then I want to turn around back and look at it.
It's gonna do the same thing though. How's this gonna work?
Oh wait, I just thought of it. To help Walter see that, is it possible for Abraham to like sketch the current face of the Walter's shadow and then show Walter that?
I'm just gonna take a picture. Oh wait, we don't have phones. I'm gonna grab a mirror.
I'm gonna bust on my iPhone.
1920.
Yes, the 19.
Look what I got.
Yeah. I know. I forgot for a second. Okay.
Look what
Yeah.
Kronos got me last campaign.
Hey, I mean, doctor's bag may have a mirror.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Can I just do a mirror thing? Like, very small, like, makeup mirror kind of thing?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, just do that, and then tell Walter to look at the mirror.
Okay. Walter, go ahead and roll spying.
Let's
All
go!
So
Nice.
you notice that your shadows relatively resemblance to you. I mean, it seems to now the shape of the clothes seem to be there. It seems to be like have some of the softer colors of the same clothing you're wearing in the features. And the professor says, I I wonder if that guy over there holding the fish has been lost here for a while. I mean, if it's got a fish, it might have been eating it. So it had to be here for a while, like a long time, I would assume, right?
And does the person with the fish, do they look more opaque than the rest, than this guy?
It looks about the same. No, he looks not more okay than this guy. Like when you mean okay, you mean like transparency level?
Yeah. Is the guy with the fish more transparent than the what did we name this guy?
A little bit more, not too much.
Has it been reacting to anything we say, or is it literally just doing what Travis is doing?
Who Travis's
Shadow.
companion? No, he hasn't been reacting at all. It's just seems to be having the same reactions and movements that Travis has.
I don't know if we should approach that person. I don't know.
Suddenly, the guy with the fish stands up.
Abraham gets ready to book it if he sees trouble.
I'm just gonna
It's looking over at us.
I'm gonna start walking away, not making eye contact.
Well, it seems to be looking at your general direction.
I'm walking away. Wide berth, no eye contact.
I already got one. What's another one gonna hurt?
We've heard quite a lot. We really don't know. We should be cautious.
I'm gonna wait for it to come over.
Okay, you wave and it approaches.
Okay, this one's different, guys.
And it stops.
Walter and his shadow children.
And it stops.
Well, welcome to fatherhood, Walter.
But this one doesn't seem
man.
to. This one doesn't seem to stop next to Walter. This one seems to stop next to Frank.
Huh. Nothing I can do about that?
Not really.
Well, you know what? You only live once. I'm just gonna go ahead and touch it. With my hands.
And when you go to touch it, let's say for example that you do the whole thing with the finger, trying to like touch it.
Yeah.
It mimics your movement and it touches your hand. And when you touch it, you feel that it feels almost wet, almost as if it's just a blob of water, like a huge bubble type thing.
Huh. I was thinking the water might have something to do with it. That's really interesting. That's really dirty. I relay that, and I want to see if I find like a tarp or something and just put it on top of him.
I'm not sure where you're gonna get a tarp from.
Kind of go around the houses and see if I find like a blanket or something.
Well, as you go around the houses, it goes with you because now it's just like standing over there, going with you. Go ahead and roll spot hidden hard. I mean, it will be very, very hard for you to find something like that on over pretty much everything being covered in rubble.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to find a house that has a bedroom and just try to get a blanket or something.
Okay.
1,
Did that go through? No, it didn't. Okay. It's not going through. Okay, let me go ahead and reload my page.
Well, since
Oh,
I
it did
know
go through. It did
something
go
was
through.
gonna
It go
test
through.
me-
It go through.
I don't see
And
any rolls, but
do you know? It says I got 2 hard successes. No, please.
it may be taking a minute.
If anything, I have a waterproof blanket. Since that thing's not attached to me, I'll rejoin the group.
No, I roll so well. Why? Oh, I hate roll 20. I hate roll 20.
Let me relog my page.
No, I already reloaded it. It didn't go
Shadow Frame
through.
dragged them into the abyss.
Maybe it's just
I got 2
my
successes in a
roll.
roll.
Yeah,
It's
no,
all
your
good.
rolls
It didn't
didn't
go
come through. Yeah, your rolls didn't come through at all. Now it came.
It just came through.
Now
it
it
just
came.
came through.
7 out
Yeah.
of a 28.
One of them did, yeah.
All right, you
That's 3
find
successes in a row. That's 3 successes in a row. Please. What the fuck is with my roll?
you find a piece of a carpet that is broken.
Alright, and I just put it on top of Frank's shadow.
All right, and when you put it on top of his shadow, it seems to move to the side and dodge it.
Like
I die again.
cat.
And clearly it moves in a very, very uncomfortable way to where it kind of like starts shaking, but then finally after you miss, it goes back to where it was next to you doing the same movements, and it goes back to normal.
I'm gonna give it to one of my friends and tell them just go stealthily and put it on top of him, please.
I mean, Abraham's an old man, but he'll give it a good college try.
Okay.
Who gets the better
What
stealth?
should I roll to try to do this?
I want to say probably brawl.
Okay. Yeah, no.
That's why I say whoever had the better stats for these. No.
All right, so as all this happens, the professor says, "Wow, these are some very unique creatures. They're very interesting. I gotta say, when we go back, we definitely have to bring them back with us to study them. I cannot imagine what a great finding this is for humanity."
I'm gonna put the sheet on top of me and ask everybody keep an eye on me.
And when you put that on top of you, the thing, the transparent being, acts as if he has that on top of him too. So it's acting in the same way.
Even under the blanket, like if I move, like I move a finger up, does it like move a finger up too?
Yep. You see it going like.
Oh. So it's not connected by sight. That's no great. Guys, please cover him in a blanket. Somebody, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I have my waterproof blanket. I can try to cover it in a blanket. I guess that's what you're trying to do.
Well, I have the carpet that I found. I'm trying to like break sight, and he clearly did not like when I put it on top of him. So maybe that makes a difference. Because I put it on top of me, and apparently, based on what you guys tell me, he was able to mimic my movements without seeing me. That's not good.
I don't think a blanket's gonna help.
It's very funny to imagine just everyone chasing this thing, trying to put a blanket on it. It's like trying to catch like a cat, or like if you ever try to like catch a cat with a blanket. Yeah, no, it's not gonna end well.
Go ahead and roll spot hidden.
All of us.
Yep.
Also, with what the professor had said, Abraham would kind of look at him and kind of be a bit weirded out, because as far as Abraham can tell, that at least with Abraham's current theory is that these are most likely the survivors, and to use them as test subjects and science experiments to learn more, it just brushes him the wrong way. So Abraham kind of speaks up and goes, maybe we should prioritize their safety before we jump hoops to try to learn whatever they can teach us.
I don't know if I care more about our safety than whatever these things are. Like, as far as we know, they are somehow connected tightly to us, and that worries me.
So, okay, so when you guys succeed in this role, you notice that on top of the cliff, now the area seems to be very, very dark. It's almost like nighttime on top of that cliff area, on top of that hill. And there seems to be some light that is emanating from the ground that's pushing up and illuminates the I guess the sky, but with this purple fog thing, whatever, it keeps it illuminated to where the sunlight is not able to go through, and that's pretty much what it's allowing you to see, but it doesn't allow sunlight to see. It doesn't look like it is daytime, but it doesn't look like daytime. It looks like a very different type of evening, almost about to go nighttime.
And that's at the top of the hill?
Yep.
And that's where we believe the meteorite has landed, correct?
Well, you don't know.
Well, that's where we want to go, so we can see if we can see where it landed.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Listen, guys, these mimics or whatever, I don't know if we can trust them. We should probably keep an eye on them, but
How do you suggest that?
I'm open to,
So how you suggest that?
suggest
Yeah,
keeping an
like-
eye on them.
I mean, they are following us, so as long as they don't run off, we should be able to just turn around and look at them, make sure they're still there, and continue onwards.
We're doing night shift, like shifts. Where we sleep.
That or we could, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's not on me. I'm not looking at anyone else anymore other than you guys. So, at least not directly making eye contact with anyone. But we should probably get to the top of that hill sooner rather than later. But we should
Yes,
maybe
probably.
keep an eye on these shadow figure guys. I mean, if we're wanting them to not follow us anymore, I am down for that, but I'm not going to be the one to suggest it.
I don't want them to
Get
follow
them
us.
to unfollow you.
Yes, same. I'm gonna shine a flashlight on them, see if that does anything.
Okay.
Alright, so you guys start climbing the hill. And as you climb the hill, you find an opening in the hill that seems to start hitting down. The opening is not necessarily where the light is emanating from. So do you guys want to continue going up to look where the light comes from, or do you guys want to go inside of the opening?
I know, let's split up.
Kinda
because
like a
nothing
cave type
ever
thing.
bad happens with this split up.
Oh, never.
I don't think we should. I don't
No.
think we should split up.
That's that's a bad idea. So is this just it's like a natural cave, or does it look like that might have been where the meteorite hit? Like, what kind of opening are we talking?
No,
look
it's
like a
kind
crater?
of
or just a
like
cave?
a cave, like an opening for a cave of sorts that has been created out of the ground lifting and stuff crumbling on top, and there just seems to be an opening.
So, quick recap. There's a cave that there's light emanating, and what else?
And then there's the area where the light comes from,
Which is
on
on
the
top.
very top of the hill.
Oh, okay. So where light comes from and the cave. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the two.
Um. Maybe we should. I think. I think the cave could be a good resting spot in case we need it. But at the moment, I don't feel particularly tired. How about you all?
I will go in the cave. We did see a bear earlier, and as far as could be,
All
there
right,
may be
all
other
right.
bears.
You all right?
Also, isn't it like noon?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we get
Oh, yeah.
tired, that might be a good spot. But I'm not tired right now.
Abraham kind of like hears the word like you know, if we get tired, and like he continues to try, like he's not like out of breath, but he is pretty out of breath right now.
All right, so where are you guys going then?
I out of character, I think it would be a smarter idea to do the light first.
Yeah.
And then that way, when we're on the way back down, we can rest at the cave if that's what we choose to do.
All right.
Yeah, that seems like a plan to me.
Perfect. That's just an amazing plan. So, you guys continue to go up. And, you know, after climbing for several minutes, you get up there. And you notice this purple light. It's not very dark. It's not very, it's not extremely bright either. It's almost like a flow of mist that is strong enough to be able to pull out, and it makes it look like a light. And when you look down, there's definitely a light source emanating over there on the bottom that seems to be extremely bright, and it's making all that mist seems like a beam of light as it comes out.
Well, we're here. What's the plan?
Abraham would look at the beam of light and kind of like sketch in his notepad, as well as writing any details he might see about the light. Like, can we tell like where the light is like coming from on the hill now that we're up here, or?
Yeah, about. Let me see. Just a second.
Okay.
About 2 stories down.
Are the shadows reacting to the light in any way as we get closer?
No, the shadows, they don't seem to be reacting. However, go ahead and roll spotting.
All of us, or just right?
All of you.
Okay.
Ooh, Clyde.
Good roll, good roll.
Nice.
So we're talking about
Alright, so Clyde, you notice that there's definitely now 2 more shadow figures that seem to be standing. One is actually seen to be standing near you, and the other one near Chaos character.
Abraham.
Yeah, Abraham. They seem to be fairly transparent. However, they seem to be becoming less and less transparent. It's almost as if the mist is making them less and less transparent as time goes by.
How is Edward's shadow looking right now?
let's see. It's about 8% solid. I mean, sorry, about 94% solid. Or 92. 92.
Right.
So it's barely
It's about to
barely
become solid.
transparent.
Do we wanna do something before it becomes solid, or do we wanna wait until after?
I mean, we
I
don't
don't-
know if they're hostile.
I
I know, like, out of character, they most probably will turn out to be hostile, but, like, within character, we don't actually know if they're hostile. Like, it'll most likely freak us out. But I don't know if, like, any of our characters would go guns blazing and attack these things just because they're starting to look like us. My character would.
Mine would. That's
then
skeptical
that
as
makes
hell.
your character. But my character wouldn't, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it genuinely depends, like, what your character makes most sense for what they would do. Abraham, he doesn't know if this thing is a threat, so he's not going to treat it like one, but he's also not going to treat it like it's harmless. It's an unknown, so he's going to be cautious, essentially.
Well, the thing is, my character has had bad experience with shapeshifters.
What?
So it will definitely be guns blazing just to be safe.
Yeah.
I know it's a response out of fear, which is not great. However, that's what keeps you alive.
Alright, so you shoot it. Are you gonna shoot it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm asking Edward what he wants to do because it's his shot. I will shoot mine if he gets to that point. I'm just kind of saying that.
Okay.
But for now, I'm just asking Edward, hey, do you want us to do something before this thing, whatever is happening?
Abraham would pretty much just say what I had said that he would do, which is, he doesn't know if it's a threat, and he doesn't want anyone to go after his, at least, like it's a threat until they know more. If another shadow attacks them, then Abraham's going to be like, okay, kill it. But right now, Abraham's being cautiously neutral.
And the professor says, well, I mean, clearly we can't really get down there from here. I think we will need to go into that cave and figure it out what's going on. Not to mention that, if you guys are too cautious about your friends over here, they seem to be becoming more and more solid the longer you guys are standing up here. I mean, look at them. And when you look at them, if you do, you will notice that the two new figures that just appear, they are probably at a good 75 to 80% solid.
And you said it was a 2-story drop down the cliff?
Yep.
I have a 50-foot rope.
Okay. How's your climb?
Technically 2 stories would be like 30 feet, right?
Yep. How's your climb?
Not good.
Yeah, I don't think mine is either.
What if I only put down 28 feet?
What if you?
Can we tie it to a tree? Can we tie it to a tree and just let the rest fall?
Yeah, but you will still have to roll climb. Make sure
climb. As we say, throw.
No, climb. Climb.
No.
I don't know what my climb is. I have to double check that.
I think it would. Abraham would probably just see the rope and just do a complete 180 and go back towards the cave. There's no way in hell he's climbing a rope.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's go to the cave then. So these mimics they're not getting our equipment, right? They're just our
No.
appearance.
They're not getting your equipment. They seem to be wearing the same clothes you're wearing, but they're not, getting your equipment.
Okay.
They don't have your equipment on them.
I have 20 clan.
I mean,
What's on? Why did I roll on? What does that mean?
I think that's her language.
yeah,
Oh,
that is
okay.
right.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to roll 20 climb, that's fine.
I don't.
I mean,
I don't.
I'm just
Mhm.
saying.
If it was one story, then maybe. 2 stories is awfully
Wait.
dangerous.
Wait. Can one of you tie me and then just lower me down, and then I can?
That's smart, actually. But like, yeah, that is smart. But like, you
And
might
you'll be alone.
accidentally let go, and you will be alone too. I don't know. If someone
Well,
happened to
there's
just say,
four
"Hey,
of
don't
you.
come down
There's
here. There's
four
a
of you.
monster."
There's 4 of you, and I feel like you're strong enough to lift me up in case I need. If I tap twice, you lift me up, and I feel like you're not gonna let go if there's 4 of you.
Okay.
Well, at that
That
point,
is-
instead of climb, because you'll be tied, so you wouldn't be rolling anything. So there will
No,
two
roll-
things that will happen. The group will need to roll strength, whoever is pulling you down,
All of
and
them.
if they fail, then you will be rolling dexterity to see how bad your fall is.
I'm okay with that. If there's 4 of them holding me and lowering me down, I'm hoping that the DC won't be too high.
I understand, but what's this going to accomplish? You'll be down there alone.
Well,
Like,
I can
we
go and see
can't-
what's going on,
True.
and maybe my shadow will also jump and die, and I don't have to worry about it.
Or it'll do like, I don't know, bad game physics, and it'll just like
Yeah,
Stays
to
out.
the location.
Yeah, and that would worry me more. That would worry me more. So I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah,
It's wall clipping.
Yeah. It just T poses and floats into the hole.
Okay, I am not confident in my strength, Doctor. But
Neither
if you
am I.
if you really want to do this, I will do my best. But I am sorry if it doesn't work out. I'm just saying
May
that.
God
This
have
is really what
mercy
you
on
want to
your
do.
soul.
there's 4 of you. I don't think it should be that hard if there's 4 of you.
Okay, we can do this.
I have a question though. What's going to happen to his shadow? It's going to want to mimic, but it won't be tied.
And that's what I'm
It'll
saying.
either
Hopefully,
jump or like T pose and float in. Who knows?
I don't know.
yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. It jumps and dies.
Yeah, if it follows them, I want to go next.
Yep.
I don't know. I
Okay,
guess you're
so
gonna
I
have to
guess-
wait and see.
Okay, so I guess we all roll strength then? Well, those of us who are lowering.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it will be the overall
Okay.
strength, and then if there's anything whatsoever, we will roll luck in order to test the integrity of the.
I don't know what that
Of the
means.
rope.
What does that mean?
I mean, I clicked strength.
Substance.
That looks really weird.
Yeah, no. So you guys will be rolling strength. In order to lower one person, I want to say that within 3 people you should be able to do it, provided that you succeed on the 3 rolls.
I mean, it'd be 4 because there's the other professors there.
Why isn't my strength working?
I don't know. How did you set it up?
I,
And also
I use the
maybe,
character man.
no. I'm saying that. Hold on. Let me look at it.
Oh my god! I rolled twice and I succeeded twice. Holy crap!
Let me see. Abraham Crow.
Because maybe I messed up, but like thank you.
It works for me.
Weird. Hold on, let me. Okay, now it's working. That was really weird though. Oh god. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god.
You're ugly too. You're.
You know what? All those failures were my shadow. I succeeded 100% of the time.
Oh. Alright, so
I did.
Alright.
I heart success on my strength.
Alright. So, hold on. Okay, yeah. So go ahead and roll. Who else is going to pull you down?
The professor also, because he's here.
If he,
I don't know why he went out.
Yeah, right?
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. That's dumb. You guys are idiots.
Well, then he can just go. I guess. Like,
Yeah, right?
Like, he wanted to join the posse. You gotta help the posse.
He has to do the dumb stuff too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not dumb, okay? He's a good thought.
You're right. It is a good plan. I'll make sure to write that on Frank's grade. Really good plan.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
The professor failed the roll with a with
I think this was one success.
84 with a 35.
That means the only person who succeeded was Wolf's character.
Yep. So ultimately, what happens is, two things. And let's see how
I have
bad
my
that
electrician's
is.
gloves on. I have my electrician's gloves on, by the way. I'm sorry.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Electrician
Doesn't matter.
plus 2 strength.
So go ahead. The only person that succeeded. Go ahead and roll your Constitution.
Fail on purpose. It'll be funny.
Okay. So you're able to hold on. So let's see how long you'll be able to hold on. Let's first determine how many turns is he gonna take him to go down there until you lose control of the rope. So we're gonna say a 1d10.
Wait, did you guys not tie it to a tree? Did you guys not tie it to a tree to make sure that the rope didn't fall?
Nope.
Guys?
Nobody said anything about tying anything to a tree.
Lieutenant Redcon, please.
And there was no tree up there either, by the way, because you didn't roll by hidden to find a tree.
A rock?
So,
Lieutenant Redcon, help me.
We also have to pull
Your
it back up. You have to remember that.
Your plan's kind of falling apart here, Doctor. I'm trying to hold on. So how long? How long?
2 turns.
Oh, okay.
2 turns. So go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll Constitution twice, please.
Okay.
You have a good constitution. You have good constitution.
Did I roll a
Fail
second
on
time?
purpose.
One
Fail
more
on
time.
purpose.
There you go.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's
I'm
go.
very constitutious.
So now go ahead and roll.
No.
Now go ahead and roll your luck. See if you got hurt in any kind of way.
By the way, I had electrician's gloves on.
That's fine. I heard you.
Okay. Oh.
Go ahead and roll.
I have electrician's gloves.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a 1d2, please.
I can heal you. I can heal you.
You're currently down the cave.
All right. So you take 2 points of damage, and unfortunately, yes, you do have the gloves that are very, very, very good. However, when you hold too tight and the rope is pulling down, the gloves are not going to stop the rope from actually burning your skin under the gloves, and also possibly
No, that makes sense.
possibly ripping your skin a little bit, considering the weight that you're holding. So you're just taking 2 points of damage, which is not a whole lot. And ultimately, the only area that is hurt is just your hand, the palm of your hands. You'll have a little bit of bruising, maybe a couple
Wait,
of.
didn't his hands get hurt earlier as well?
No, I
No.
think before you had a headache.
Okay, my bad. That would have been funny if it was like the same person. Start again.
All right, so you go ahead.
I did heal whoever got the fan chalice, I think it was.
So, Federico, your character goes ahead and lands on the ground. The moment that
I
your
knew
character
what I
lands,
done.
the moment that your character lands on the ground, your shadow seems to land right next to you. Your shadow actually jumped onto the light beam and pretty much rode the light beam all the way down.
That's not how physics work.
It is a water-based creature. I'm hoping maybe that will. Maybe that one.
So that's what it did down there.
Sorry.
What do you want to do down there, Federico?
Okay, I want to get a very good lay of the land, and especially see if there's any threats.
Okay. This seems to be all cavern down there. You know, everything seems to be very dark inside of that cave with the exception of that light beam. And it's so purple and bright in a way that it's just illuminating everything like on a purplish color. It's not like a true yellow or white. So seeing details may be a little difficult down there. What else? Are you gonna look at the light? Is that what you want to do?
I do. I
Okay.
do look at the light.
Go ahead and roll your power for me, please.
Oh, awesome! That is not a good roll for me.
Don't worry, we believe in you. If you fail, hopefully it'll be funny.
See, the thing is, I didn't know when I made this character that power was important, so I didn't assign any stat points to it.
Maybe luck will be on your side.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
May the dice gods be forever in your favor, or however it goes.
Because I thought powers was more like a physical thing, and that was like, I don't need that much. I'm a doctor.
Yeah, no, I had to. I read that, and it was like, huh? Power
Power-
is not what I thought it was.
Power is also.
Oh, wait. Power is a stat. I confused it with something else. But yeah,
Yeah.
either way,
Oh,
I still don't have a great one.
So ultimately, when you look at the light, your character falls into this sort of trance, and the more you look at the light, the more you start seeing some things. Ultimately, what you see is you start seeing an image of the place that it originated from. You see a different planet where there's life everywhere, and then suddenly everything just starts dying little by little, and people just start dying, but then soon after the people are alive again, and they seem to be communicating with the light, and they all seem to be part of that light. And unfortunately, the longer you look at that light, you cannot break that connection, that doubt that you have with the light. And your your shadow, whatever, it's just straight up looking at you now. It's not necessarily looking at the light. It's just looking at you.
Can I do anything right now, or am I still like
Nope.
transfixed?
At this point, you cannot do anything. Not on this turn, at least. So,
Oh, I was gonna
what
think I
does
could roll again,
everybody
but no.
else? I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask if I could just roll power again, but no. Okay, nothing I can do
right
this
now.
time. Okay.
Not right now. What does everybody else wants to do?
I think one of us should shout down and be like, "You good?" And like, see if he answers, which he won't
Go for
because
it.
he's,
Yeah,
you know,
go for it. Go for it. No, you did it. Come on.
fine. Abraham kind of like looks like over the hole. Well, you know the where the light is coming from, and shouts, "Frank, did something eat you?"
That's your go-to? What the fuck?
He's a cynical old man. If something has eaten him, eaten Frank. He would like to know.
I
hear,
would either say nothing, or I would say pretty light.
no.
and you hear a voice from the bottom that sounds exactly like Frank's. saying,
Oh,
"No, I am just fine down here. Everything's fantastic. You guys should come down here."
Well, we can't climb. We can't really climb down.
We'll go the long way around.
Okay, no problem. I'll be here. I'll wait for you guys.
You're sure?
Yeah, this is like
Are
the we're gonna be super famous with this. This is like discovery of a century.
you guys know I didn't care about Discovery. That wasn't me.
Hey,
That wasn't
So
me.
good. This is so cool. Genuinely, I'm having so much fun. Fucking
I
awesome.
did not mention caring about Discovery at all. My God.
Poor Frank.
Uh,
You will be missed. Unless Shadow Frank is cooler, and in which case, you know.
and then he can join.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good character, Shadow Frank.
you're sure that mimic is okay? They followed you down there.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's just standing over here next to me. It's just okay.
You guys know I wouldn't say that. I wanted to kill it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know if this light thing is gonna last for long. And besides, I am not able to get out of here, so you guys need to hurry up and come get me.
I shout, why can't you come back up? The plan was you pull the rope, and we'll bring you up.
Well, I took the rope off because I wanted to investigate down here.
Did he take the rope off?
Yep. He has the rope
really?
off. He has the rope off.
Oh shit. I was about to say, oh, maybe we can like pull the real Frank up and try to save him, but nah, damn.
But if you wait a moment, I can time myself back up. He says.
See, we don't know that that's the mimic. Like it's obvious out of character that that's the mimic, but like we don't. Although it seems odd, we don't know Frank enough. At least Abraham does. I don't know if your character's ever met before. But,
but
yeah,
I know my character knows that he's skeptical of the mimics like me.
Yeah.
And he's talking nice about him, so like I'm weirded out, but I have no reason to know that that's happening. So we have to fucking try. I'm not confident I can get him back up. I doubt that I'm going to be rolling. So
our characters
we can try.
don't have a reason not to, so yeah.
Walter, the input.
Right? Yeah. So, we basically shout down, telling him to retie the rope, and we'll pull him up.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, I got it on now. Go for it. Hold on.
Okay.
You gotta wait. All right, go ahead and hold on. So okay. So who is going to try to get Frank out?
I think we're working together to do that, right?
Fortunately, I was for sure me and Abraham. Walter, what do you think? How are you feeling? I don't care to ask the professor this time. He can do it if he wants.
Yeah, the professor's starting to weird me out.
Wait, we found the professor is here. She might be one of them.
The professor says, "You know what? I think it's really important. Regardless if we pull him out or not, for all of us to actually go down there. I mean, I want to see what's down there. I think that's what we're here for ultimately. Based on the amount of light.
He's one of them.
Based on the amount of light that is coming out, that's gotta be definitely what landed from the sky.
No, maybe it's just the magma of the earth flowing.
It could be, but you know what? I didn't come all the way from that other city all the way here just to leave without finding out. I want to find out exactly what's going on.
Can I roll psychology?
Of the city you're from?
So what?
What's the name of the city you're from, Professor?
I'm from Darktown. It's, I told you, it's a town. It's about 200 miles down south.
And can I roll something to like at least be a bit suspicious of the professor?
Sure, you can roll.
Yeah, can I roll psychology?
Psychology.
Yeah.
Damn. Is it worth it?
Damn.
Nope. So,
is it
Professor, so
worth
look,
the
you don't have
psychology?
to. You don't have to go down if you don't want to. I'm here to go down there. You can stay up here if you want. I mean, I'm not telling you
How are you
gotta
gonna-
go with me.
How are you gonna get down? Are you gonna climb down the rope?
No,
Okay, well,
obviously I
that's-
cannot climb down the rope. He says so. My only choice is to go around through the cavern, see if there's an entrance over there to get down there.
Once we pull up Frank, we should probably go towards that cave entrance, rest for a few minutes, get our head sorted, and then go through the cave.
Yeah, we can do. And Frank says from the bottom, "Oh yeah, it'll be just fine. I mean, I can see a pathway, a long pathway, so there's a chance that thing is connecting."
Okay. Also,
So
if
just-
we do go back to the cave, I have an idea of like something to ask.
Frank, go ahead and roll your power for me again.
Alright.
Frank, please.
Oh man, you got this.
Do I?
No, but like, damn it. It was close, it wasn't, but like, I'm saying it's supposed to be nice. So, yeah, I think the three
So
of us
are you guys
going
coming
to-
or are you guys pulling me up? I mean, I don't really see the point of you guys pulling me up, considering that you guys are gonna have to go around through the cavern if you are coming.
Well, we don't know how long you'll be alone down there for. You
Well, there's
could be in trouble.
literally nothing down here other than this light.
Can you
And the
see
mimic.
where the light is coming from?
Yeah, it seems to be coming from something floating over here. It's like I think it's like a crystal, but I am not entirely sure.
Hey man, I should have made a geologist. That would have been funny.
And it seems to be floating. I mean, it's quite the sight. Because if you look at it long enough, you can see like a vision.
Frank, have you been staring at the light?
Well, I looked at everything.
Yeah, Abraham is suspicious, but he doesn't really have a reason not to trust Frank. So, like,
No,
can
no, I
he
didn't.
pull
I didn't.
not Frank out,
He says,
or do we go towards the cave
after all,
entrance
I
without
asked you
Frank?
guys. I asked you guys to lower me down here so I could look at things and find things out.
And then to come back up, but you said that you're okay?
Well, if you guys are planning to come back, then yeah, you don't have to get me out. If you're not gonna
True,
come back,
we'll just
then you need to get me out. Otherwise, I can try to get out by myself by going to the through the entrance.
I'm not a coward, but I will never do stuff for myself.
yeah. I think Abraham would just leave what this Frank is saying, and then just agree to meet up with Frank when they go to the cave entrance and meet him where the light is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll do that.
I think that's what we're agreeing to doing.
Everybody, go ahead and roll spot hidden up there.
Oh shit! Really? Damn.
Okay. Heck yeah.
All right. So you guys notice. I mean, chaos. You notice that you're. I mean, that everybody's, including yours, your stunt doubles, They look exactly like you right now. They're as solid as they can possibly be.
So they can physically be touched?
Yep.
Or if they push us down this hole, I'm going to scream.
They could be touched before. Remember how I touched mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abraham would kind of look at his Abraham isn't a very good walker without his cane, so like does this double have a cane, or does it look like it's able to walk normal, or is it walking like as bad as him?
No, your double, granted that it looks exactly like you and it acts in most ways exactly like you, it mimics you. However, it's mimicking you walking with the cane but without a cane.
Okay. So it's just Abraham without cancer. Great. Most likely we should start going through the cave entrance.
Do you say anything about them looking like us? No one else saw it.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is the first time I actually succeeded at a spot hit and being the only one who succeeds, so like it went over my head. Abraham would kind of look at them and speak up, going, gentlemen, I do not mean to alarm you. Well, probably something alarming, but it would appear our doubles have taken on a handsome physique.
And when you guys look at them, you see that they look exactly like you. Like, there's no more transparency at all. They are like your spit image.
I'm gonna pull my gun and point it at the one that looks like me just to see if it has a reaction. Like, is it sentient?
And it stick its arm out like it's holding a gun, and it's pointing whatever could be a gun to you.
And it's just, yeah. Do I? Should I? I'm gonna fire once just to see if it hits, and if it does, I'm gonna fire 2 more times.
Okay.
Hopefully this is. Did it react to the shot?
It just stands still. It just stood still.
Abraham, having seen you like try to shoot yours.
However, when you hit the trigger of the gun, when you squeeze the trigger, your clone also squeezed the trigger on the air, because it's obviously not holding a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else come out? Can he shoot water gun?
I think Abraham has a gun. Like, it just wouldn't make sense.
And the professor goes ahead and says, so are you guys gonna stay up here playing around or what? So I'm just gonna go down there if you guys are just gonna stay down here.
I don't know if we can trust these things.
Well, they haven't moved.
If the professor does end up walking off towards the cave entrance, Abraham will follow him.
They haven't moved or done anything yet. I mean,
they keep following us, and they look exactly like us. Does that not alarm you at all?
Does the professor have one? They seem to be doing is exactly the same thing you're doing.
Take off traits from the father, but these things, these people, if they are still people or if they ever were, we don't know if they mean us any harm. Sure, it is unnerving to say the least, but we have no reason currently to believe that they would do any of us harm.
Well, Walter's right though. He doesn't have one.
I thought Walter had one.
And the professor says...
The professor doesn't have one.
Oh, the professor.
And the professor says, well, based on that theory, well, shoot yourself. See if it harms itself.
Don't shoot yourself. Don't.
You have to give it.
Yeah.
You have to give it your gun.
Oh, okay.
And hold your hand up like you're going to shoot yourself, and then.
Okay.
I don't know if that's worth trying.
I'm going to ask the professor what he knows about these things.
I mean,
He says,
He's
I
saying
don't know
he
much
doesn't
of
know.
anything, but they seem to mimic everything we're doing. So if you try to hurt it, obviously you saw that he was sticking his hand out as if he was holding a gun, acting like he was going to shoot. So therefore, it seems to me that if you shoot yourself, for example, on the leg, that is probably going to harm itself on the leg, or shoot itself on the leg, or whatever that is.
How comes you don't have one?
yes,
I
that
don't
is
know.
odd.
That's a great question. Then again, it might be because I've been here for, I don't know, maybe a couple more hours after you, or maybe I just,
You were
I don't know.
there when we arrived.
Yeah,
I could have sworn you said something about you arriving first.
Yeah, that's what I
you
just
were
said.
you were already there.
That's what I just said, that I've been here a couple hours after you. I didn't notice anything like that before. I mean, the first animal I noticed was when you guys were around. So, I don't know. Maybe then again, it could be the fact that I'm too old and I'm just not worth making a copy of me. So I'm not sure.
I will look over at our author.
Who?
Our you're older than our writer over here.
Oh, Abraham, yeah.
Well,
Abraham.
no, in my case, I'm not older than him. I mean, I'm in my 30s. However, as you can see, life has not treated me very well. I have made very poor choices in the past, mostly with, I'm ashamed to say it, but mostly with alcohol. I have abused alcohol, and that's the reason why I'm so skinny and I'm not doing very well. As a matter of fact, doctors have said that my liver is very sick as it is.
Abraham would
Technology.
and like his
Sure.
face was softened at that because he's kind of
Yeah, I
understandable
wanna-
of that. Oh shit.
Oh god dang, Walter. You're just like mega minding him.
That's his first success. And
Oh nice, I also succeeded.
and ultimately, I mean, when you look at him, he does kind of play the part of somebody that could be very sick because he is very pale, he's very skinny, and he could very well be sick. But obviously, the only part of the I guess the only thing that doesn't add up to you maybe will be the fact that he doesn't necessarily have a copy of himself. That just might be a little weird to you.
That's definitely weird.
Well, I'd say as we walk towards the cave, I'm gonna pull Walter and Abraham beside me, and
Yeah.
his idea about giving them the gun might work. Or we can just
I
Or
don't know.
they could get sentient and then they have the guns.
I mean, as I said, cautious, yes, but we don't actually know if these things want to hurt us. Maybe if they are taking on our physical form, what's to say that they don't have our minds as well? You gentlemen, are you all violent folk? Are you monsters willing to kill others? I know I'm not. And if we go off of the basis under the assumption that these things also hold our minds, then surely we can think that perhaps they too are just as curious and scared of us as we are as them.
Frank, royal power.
Come on, Frank. We
Come on,
believe in
Frank.
you.
What's up? I heard my name.
Royal power.
Yeah, bro. Power. Nice.
There you go.
All right, you kind of break out of your of your trance.
Can I pretend I'm still on the trance?
Sure. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, so I pretend I'm still in the trance and I just wanna look if I see my shadow in front of me looking at me right now.
Yeah, it's definitely looking at you right now.
Do I get the sense that I know I'm awake?
Hold on. Let's make it fair. So your character is Frank Matello.
Matello. Yep, Dr. Frank Matello, but yes.
Yep, he knows that you're awake, and as you're awake, give me just a second. He's going to fail the brawl.
Alright.
So, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna yell, help!
We walked away.
Evil one!
Oh shit, we can't hear that. We walked away.
Oh, I did. I wouldn't know that. I would not know that.
Yeah, I was just
I mean,
commenting.
I mean, how far away is the top of the hill from the cave?
Go ahead and roll hard. Roll listen on hard.
Listen on hard? Okay.
Yep.
After I yell for help, I'm gonna try to subdue it, just like it tried to do it to me.
Okay, go ahead and roll your brawl.
None of us heard it. Damn.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your brawl.
Yep.
And the professor, let's roll listen with the professor. Where's listen?
Actually, I'm not gonna try to subdue it. I'm gonna grab my knife and I'm gonna try to cut its head off.
Okay.
Fuck! I'm fucking pushing that. I am pushing that.
Oh, thanks.
Nice.
Alright.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, you could've been enough.
Oh no, I dropped the machete onto my foot.
I was laughing at the professor's fumble, and then your after it was just like a 1-2 punch.
Professor here, someone asking if he wants to buy V-Bucks.
Alright, we're gonna push that too.
Oh shit.
Alright. And after pushing that, he's gonna try to grab your knife.
Uh-oh.
So go ahead and roll your strength.
Can I dodge it or?
Well, no, he's not hitting you. He's just going for the knife. So,
Alright.
roll your strength.
Did I succeed? No, I didn't.
No, but he did. So he grabs your knife. Your move.
Alright, I'm gonna try to hit slash now.
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna try to take the knife again.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm like, knife.
Roll your brawl.
Fuck.
Hot potato, hot potato.
Roll your brawl. Alright.
Push it.
Wow. Alright.
This very much is just hot potato at this point. It really is.
So he pulls out with the knife, and now he's gonna attack.
Uh-oh.
No, I took it out. I took it from him.
No, you didn't. You grabbed
Yes, I
it.
did.
You grabbed his hand with the knife. However, you both at that point rolled strength, and he won the strength roll, but you failed it. So you didn't
I
take the
rolled
knife
strength.
away from him.
I have a roll
road
strength.
strength.
Right, because you failed the brawl.
Oh no.
No, I succeeded. I pushed it.
He pushed it.
Oh, you pushed it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Success.
Roll your strength.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Roll your strength then.
Fuck!
You cannot push down.
You know, Jericho. I think it's about time you might want to write up a character like Frank's nephew.
So when you do that, unfortunately, you get a cramp at the same time that you're doing it. You get a cramp all over your arm, and it starts hurting so much. So therefore, you cannot grab the knife.
Yep.
And he just does 9 points of damage to you. And as far as I know, you had what? 11?
11 health.
All right, so you fall to the
And I cannot
to the
dodge,
ground.
right?
You cannot. You're gonna die unless you get medical attention. So he's just gonna go ahead, and he's just gonna try to grab you.
Alright, but I cannot dodge that, right? No?
Nope. And he just tosses you into the light.
Can I struggle back? I'm still alive. I have
Nope.
2 health.
Nope, you cannot.
Adrenaline.
You have no movement at all whatsoever because you have only 2 points of health. You're like very badly wounded at that point. And,
Okay.
and we're gonna stop at this point.